What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So, I've been checking around, and what I'm hearing is that Dillian Whyte versus Luis King Kong Ortiz is the fight that's supposed to happen. If, and there's no need to even say if, because the way I see it, Povetkin's not going to be ready. Um, you're saying if Povetkin is not ready, Luis Ortiz will be the guy. Now, I'm not crazy about this fight because, first off, like I said, I think Luis Ortiz is a decent fighter. All that boogeyman, nobody wants to fight him. No, no, all that was hype, and people talking all this. He's the guy nobody wants to fight. And then I look at Luis Ortiz's resume, and like I said, it's not about shooting the man down. I'm just being honest about where I see him. Okay, he has no notable names on his resume other than Deontay Wilder, and he lost both of those fights. And for the people that say, yeah, but he was outboxing Deontay both times until he got knocked out, yeah, so was Duhampus. So was Gerald Washington. You know, listen, it's not hard to outbox Deontay Wilder. That's what he's known for. He'll be behind on the scorecards, but he lands the right hand and then he gets the guy out of there. You know, I'm not, look, you're fighting the guy that got knocked out twice. The guy that knocked him out twice has no fight. Now, I don't know if they reached out to Team Wilder and Wilder turned them down. As far as we know, who the hell is Wilder's trainer? We don't even know who Wilder's trainer is, but Wilder keeps talking like, he was talking like he's ready to go right now. Right? Okay. He's been ready since September, which is why I said, okay, you're ready. Obviously, Dillian's ready. So why don't y'all mix it up then? Right? That's the fight that's another fight that never happened. That was supposed to happen, right? And so Andy Ruiz's name came up. Now, Andy Ruiz, here's the funny thing. Remember, Andy Ruiz, it was said that he was calling out Luis King Kong Ortiz. So why didn't that fight surface? I don't know. But that fight didn't happen. Now, Ortiz is going to fight Dillian Whyte. It lets me think, it leads me to believe that Andy Ruiz wasn't ready. He was talking, but he wasn't ready. Because if he was ready, if he was, I seen him showing his little, invisible six pack and he, lifting his shirt up. And so, okay, to me, I don't think he's ready. Or either he's ready, he wasn't ready, or he just didn't want that fight. I mean, which is it? Because if you're ready and Dylan's ready, let's go. Same thing with Wilder. If you're ready and Dylan's ready, let's go. Wilder still doesn't have an opponent. He said he was moving on from Coward Fury. We still haven't heard anything about Wilder's next opponent. We haven't heard anything about Fury's next opponent. Fury's name keeps coming up with Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua said something that was very interesting because I feel the same exact way. He said, man, at this point, I don't even care about those things anymore. He said, man, we just do a 50-50 split. I don't care about all of this, where it's going to be and who's going to get what this day. Like, let's just do it 50-50. Now, don't get me wrong. Not with just anybody. But where him and Fury stands, AJ still could say, hey, I'm unified champ. But AJ just wants to make the fight. And if you look at it, AJ's trying to fight nothing but the top guys. Look at who his mandatory is. He's saying that he wants Fury, but if that doesn't surface, then he's going to go through with his mandatory first. And that if Fury basically say, hey, it's on, and they actually work the deal out that he may just give up his WBO title, he said that to a fight with Tyson Fury is bigger than unification. I mean, he's entitled to see it. He see things the way he want to see it. You can look at that different ways, though. But if he's okay with that, hey, so be it. And he said that because he knows he beats Fury, he's going to have to fight him again. Beat him a second time, and he wants to go after that title that he get let go, which is the WBO. And let's say if that did happen, I just hope that whoever has the title, if hopefully what I really would like to see happen, honestly, is he go through with his plans, fight his mandatories, get Usyk out the way, okay, and then him and Fury at some point have to cross paths, or Deontay Wilder, depends on how it goes. However, I think Deontay has something to prove first. You don't just get your ass whooped and then come back into a title fight, unless you're fighting the guy. In this case, unless he's fighting Fury. But either way, I would like to see him fight Usyk, beat Usyk. Then what happens between Wilder and Fury? You get the winner of that. And I think that the winner would be Fury. Personally, that's who I think is going to win if he does fight Wilder. But that's yet to be seen. So, same thing, may the best man win. But we don't even know who's fighting who. As for Dillian and Whyte, it's the type of thing where, I'd rather see, okay, if it's just pick somebody just to say I'm having a fight, which really, I'm definitely not into that. If it was just to keep busy or whatever, I definitely wouldn't be into that. Now, if this fight was to turn out to be better than what I expected to be, then okay. Here's the thing. For those who think that Dillian Whyte can't beat Ortiz, listen, even if y'all thought that he couldn't beat him 3-4 years ago, do you guys not realize, dude, Luis Ortiz is slowed down? Do you guys realize, if you watch, I just don't see Luis Ortiz the way the people that speak highly of him like that, and not to take credit for him, like I said, I think he's a decent fighter. But these are the people who love Wilder and that got sold on his whole, Ortiz is the boogeyman thing, and started talking like, his credit. What is it? Who's the biggest name on his resume besides Wilder? Malik Scott. We can't name anybody that Luis Ortiz beat that we even care to remember. So my thing about that is, because he's got in the ring with Wilder twice and got knocked out, somehow that makes him a credible opponent for Dillian Whyte. Now, somebody can look and say, well, they both got knocked out and they both have something to prove. Well, Luis Ortiz got knocked out, came back, fought somebody, won, fought Wilder, got knocked out again. Okay, one thing has nothing to do with the other. Okay, and Dillian Whyte just, get knocked out by Povetkin, and then for him to come back and fight Ortiz, who hasn't been in the ring. First off, Ortiz is very inactive. He doesn't fight enough. The best case scenario is him not putting a lot of toll on putting less toll on his body, one would think. But if he's training the way he trains, then you're really not, with the exception of going into a fight, taking a beating. Okay. In all honesty, I'm just not feeling this fight. I'm just not feeling that fight, man. It is what it is. But if that's going to be the fight, then Dillian need to go in there and take care of business. And he needs to actually look good doing it. Because in all honesty, if Dillian Whyte struggles with Luis Ortiz at all, if he struggles with him and look bad and it's like a close decision, nobody's going to look at Dillian Whyte. There's going to be people who are going to start to go, man, this guy, Dillian Whyte's overrated. He's all hype. He needs to knock out Luis Ortiz. He needs to destroy Luis Ortiz. Because if he doesn't, is going to do nothing. See, people think if he wins, then that boosts him up. No, how? Here's a guy that barely fights. When he does fight, it's against somebody we don't even know or somebody that's not even worth talking about. And then when he did have his step up fight with Deontay Wilder, like I said, he got beat both times. So I don't understand all of this instant credibility by beating a guy who has a very lackluster resume. So I'm really not feeling that fight, but it is what it is. Hopefully, everybody who is seen as the favorites to win in this scenario, hopefully everybody can take care of what they have to take care of so we can get the fights that we want to see. I do think that Anthony Joshua versus Usyk is a big fight, but the fight that I know I want to see and most people want to see in the heavyweight division is Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. Now, I would like to see Deontay Wilder fight somebody. Since we know it's not going to be Dillian Whyte, I don't want to see Deontay Wilder come back here and fight some meatball and then do a lot of talking and nothing happens. He needs to fight at least what's happening with him and Andy Ruiz? Okay, so Ruiz, if you're not ready to fight Dillian Whyte, what's up with you and Wilder? We need to look. Dillian Whyte just got knocked out. Now he's going to fight a guy who has at least a reputation in the division. But, Wilder's situation, Wilder feels he was cheated, that he didn't lose fair and square, so you don't need to come back, and you've been ready since September, right? So you don't need to come back with some meatball fight, and then what? Fight a meatball and then jump back in it with a champ? No. That rematch with Tyson Fury, we've heard again, not last week, again, that yes, it's confirmed. Tyson Fury is not tied. We already noticed the contract expired. We know this. He's not tied, and he can fight whoever he wants. He's not obligated to fight Deontay Wilder. So, either, and I'm not even I'm not even interested in a Wilder Fury 3. But I'd rather see Wilder and Fury fight again, or at least see Andy Ruiz and Wilder. At least, because I feel like Andy Ruiz got something to prove too. You just got you lost your last fight. You don't just get your ass whooped, like I said, then jump back into a title fight. It can happen. It can happen. But regardless, I want to see these guys fight somebody. But that's a former champion, so he's not gonna go in there and take no fight on short notice and just that look desperate to get a fight. I don't know who Wilder has on his radar. We don't know what's going on with his training camp. Who's his new trainer? If he's actually really ready. How much of it is just talk? How much of it is hype? We don't even. To me, it's hype. To sit here and keep saying I'm ready, man. I'm ready to go now. I've been ready, and then all of these guys, Andy Reid, keep lifting his shirt up. He's training with Canelo's tail. All this stuff we keep hearing throughout the weeks, but nobody's making any moves. So, at least Dillian is like, I'm not sitting back waiting for Povetkin. I'm moving forward. So I don't know. We'll see. We have to just wait and see what happens. But I would like to see. I want to see Wilder fight Andy Ruiz. At least an Oscar Rivas type fight. At least somebody that can fight. Why not? I don't understand what the holdups are. Especially right now. COVID has slowed down everything. So now it seems like for every fight that you can think of, every possible fight, it's like the better fights out of everything you think is like, you know what? Don't even focus on that because it's not going to happen. And that seems to be the norm right now. So anyway, look, that's all I'm going to say on this situation. Let me know in the comments, y'all, who, if Wilder and Fury is not going to get it on, that's not the next fight for either man, who would you like to see Wilder fight? And what do y'all think about King Kong Ortiz versus Dillian Whyte? Also, do y'all think that Anthony Joshua should drop his WBO title to fight Tyson Fury? And then what's next for Fury? Let me know in the comments. Listen, never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.